Good afternoon. Jeff Dawson, Amazon best-selling author, Love's True Second Chance, Occupation, Gateway PH, Why Did Everything Happen? Coming to you very sunny and hot Dallas, Texas. But it is August, and it's supposed to be hot. But we've only had, maybe a handful of 100-degree days, so this has been exceptionally cool summer. And anyone who says otherwise is just ignorant. Okay, enough of the weather. There's a baseball game tonight. Did you know that? If you don't watch the news, you probably wouldn't or follow baseball, but the Chicago White Sox and the New York Yankees are going to have a game in Dyersville, Iowa, which is pretty cool. I remember when they announced this game in 2019, and it's like, okay, so they're going to build a field, a regulation field, not the one from the movie, and play a game there. Okay, that's exciting. I'm still trying to figure out how Dyersville is going to handle all of these people that came into town. Because when you look around, we've got a couple of hotels. But that's not the problem. The media just can't help themselves of making a spectacle of themselves. Last night they had a game. Two high school teams, one from Chicago and one from New York. I'm not sure where the Chicago team was from. I'm going to guess the south side, maybe the east side, and then the team from New York was from Harlem. I'm going to guess the south side, maybe the east side, and then the team from New York was from Harlem. And, of course, watching the game was okay, but the announcers were horrible. It just amazes me at the rampant stupidity these networks rely on with announcers. I mean, A-Rod was there like I give a rat's ass. Frank Thomas was there. Pierzynski's there. I forgot who else, but instead of this about being about the game, that's becoming to be about the people that are at the game and their great experience and their feelings, and I don't give two shits about that. And these kids, I mean, the final was, hell, I even forgot. I think Chicago won 8-7. And they had a time limit for some reason. Maybe it's a city ordinance, whatever, but it's a field out in the, where this ball field is built. It's in the middle of nowhere. And for like the last 10 minutes of the game, and I forgot who called it, but they should be fired for being stupid. All they could talk about was 8:15, 8:15, 8:15. That nothing can start after 8:15. And that's all they talked about for 10 minutes. They forgot that there were two teams actually playing. And when the game was over and they interviewed Rodriguez, he made the dumbest comment. This is why he'll never be a coach. Of all the potential major league talent he saw on these high school teams, oh, give me a break. That was all window dressing and for those kids. 14 walks in a game is not major league caliber. There was one grand slam, I believe, I missed that went into the corn, and you just sworn that it was just this magical moment. You're playing on a ball field without a fence. Of course, the ball's going to go in the field. Those of us in our 60s or older, we played on fields without fences. And if you hit a hard line drive, you got a home run. I hit many of them in elementary school. We didn't start seeing fences until junior high. But in elementary, if you could hit that ball hard enough, get it through the infield, chances are, if you got it in the gap, it was gone. But for A-Rod to make this ignorant comment that there's a lot of major league talent, no, the pitcher's form was horrible. There was no consistency, and these are high school kids, so I take that into account. That aside, I look at form. You don't have form, you're not going to be around. You're just not going to be around. And, the Little League World Series, the regionals are going on right now because the show starts on and I take that back, not the show, but the World Series starts on the 19th. Of course, as usual, ESPN is going to turn it into an unwanted show, but that's what they do so that they can shine the spotlight on them and not the kids. And that's the problem with this game tonight. Oh, hell, I turned on the news this morning, and I did it for a reason. I wanted to see what the bobbleheads were saying about the game, and I wasn't disappointed. Everyone's got an opinion with no substance. And then for Ainsley Earnhardt to ask, who was it, Will Kane that's out there? Did you ask A-Rod about who he's dating? What a little poodle. Who cares? Who cares who he's dating? His ex-wife sure doesn't, and maybe, I don't know, all this big extravaganza with J-Lo, is that over? I don't care. That has nothing to do with the game. But then I expected nothing less from her, and then I turned on CNN to see their, New Day is their show, and of course that gal, she's always looks like she's PMSing. I forgot her name. Maybe, is it Aaron Burnett or something? And you'd swear, listening to them, they'd never seen a baseball game in their life. And of course, everyone is trying to come up with these hard-hitting, feel-good sayings from the movie. And what really was irritating with the coverage of the game last night was, I don't know how many times that drone came out of the corn. Really? It was a movie 31 years ago. 32. And it was a good movie, even though Kevin Costner was in it. But I love it when they start referring to this guy, and I've got to look at the guy who actually owns the farm. They're all saying, that's Ray Cancelo's house. No, it's not. That was an actor's house for what? A couple of months? No, that is the owner of the farm's house. It's not Ray's house. Ray's a fictional character. And I remember watching that interview with Costner when, everything is iconic now. It's either iconic or unprecedented. It's all this. What are they doing? Pulling out a thesaurus so they can sound intelligent? It was a movie. It was a good baseball movie. I'm not denying that. I enjoyed the film. But, let's use their favorite word, iconic. The most iconic scene in dealing with baseball was on NCIS when Mark Harmon and the gal who played Ziva said, let's have a catch. And she knew how to throw a baseball. And that just shocked the hell out of McGee and Donoso. That was a good moment. But this one from the movie this is what it was all about. To a degree, yeah, because he got pissed off at his dad and left home and never spoke to him again. And his dad passed, and he didn't get to say he was sorry. Well, that was your bad luck. And so at the end of the film, if you've seen it, he gets to play catch with his dad, who's about 15 years younger than him, or 10 years. I played catch with my father. I didn't say, let's have a catch. They act like this was just the saying of the day. I'd look at my dad and say, can we go play catch? I didn't say, can we have a catch? And he knew it was the only sport I was good at. He said, sure, let's go outside. and I'd pitch to him and I'd play catch with him. But this, let's have a catch, I don't know where they came up with it. I had never heard it, and I lived in Ohio, Delaware, and Oklahoma and never heard that phrase. So for this to be one of the great lines of the movie, if I had that chance again and I saw my dad, I said, let's go play catch. Got your glove? Let's go. But only the media can destroy this event, and I'll give them A+ for doing it. Every bobblehead anchor out there wants to put their 2 cents in, and you can tell they don't know a damn thing about the game. They haven't seen a baseball game forever. Who was that idiot on CNN on the New Day? The only thing he really knew was some trivia question about what second grader has never, what character has never passed second grade? And, oh, he knew that was Lisa Simpson. Give him a thumbs up. That education really paid off, didn't it? But I know a damn thing about baseball. And to listen to these pros, I was like, I thought you played the game. I thought you had a brain. I was disappointed again. I should be used to it. In fact, my friend Wes said, man, why don't you mute the game? Well, I like the sound of the game. I just can't stand the announcers. If I could figure out a way to do it, believe me, I would do it in a heartbeat. Come up with a little device to where you push it and the announcers are gone. And I get to hear the game because that's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear their crap. Because the game starts at 7 tonight, but they have to have an hour pregame show so we know that, Joe Buck is going to be talking about his childhood and his experiences, and I don't give 2 shits. All I want to see is the White Sox and the Yankees play, because the Yankees are fighting for that last spot in the playoffs as a wild card. Unless the White Sox just have a monumental collapse like we saw with Atlanta, how was that, 4 or 5 years ago? Where they just lost it, dude, and they didn't make the playoffs. The White Sox are going to the playoffs, barring this possible collapse. So it is an important game for both teams. What isn't important is the announcers. They are not important. It is not about you. It is about the game. And if you want to say it's about the movie, fine. We'll keep all of your ignorant comments to yourself because nobody cares. Do you get it? Nobody cares. I don't care how much money you're being paid. Oh, and that was something. Pierzynski was there, and they wanted to get his comments, and someone said, well, he's not getting paid, so he's not going to say anything. What type of bullshit is that? And I don't care if it was said in jest. So if you don't get paid, well, how'd you get there? Did somebody pay you to go, or did you just drive up there on your own? Why do I think you didn't drive up there on your own? So I'm not watching the clown show. It'll be painful enough watching the game as they all stumble over each other, which they will, to try and come up with the most hard-hitting and in-depth analysis of the movie and what it means and how it affects a father and son's relationship. Well, what about a father and daughter? I have 3 children. I played catch with all 3 of them. We have great memories from that. But I'm not going to read something into it that doesn't exist, and that's exactly what they're going to do tonight, because they're already doing it. It started last night with the high school game. It's going to carry on, and basically they're just making fools of themselves. And that's all I can say. But I will be watching, which is going to be fun. God, I wish I could mute their ass. It's going to be fun because we don't get to see the White Sox and the Yankees very often down here in Texas. We have to suffer through the Texas Rangers. And believe me, folks, we are suffering right now. Well, they actually won one the night before last, and they lost again last night. But the positive thing is they only lost 2-1, and Spencer Hunter had a real good start. All right, well, that's all I got for this. But believe me, I'll probably be back tomorrow with more about the coverage of the game.